And welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of the TV show podcast. My name is Jay Black, joined as always by the soon-to-be vacationing Rhea Hughes. Look at the joy in Rhea's face. And the always on vacation, Angelo Cataldi, as he is retired and as happy as I've ever seen him, which is
Look
not
at
that
the tan. How
happy.
about the tan?
You do tan very nicely, Angelo.
Yes, I don't even sit in the sun. It bounces
It's
off the sand.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yes, it should be. Irish girl.
Yes.
So I wanted to start today, which with the most exciting thing that you can possibly start with on a TV show podcast, which is talking about economics and politics, specifically the economics of late night television. Because the big story in TV that everybody's talking about is Stephen Colbert, the host of The Late Show, is not only being fired, they're getting rid of The Late Show. The entire show is being canceled. This is the show, if you'll remember, that was created in 1993 when CBS poached David Letterman from NBC and started that great rivalry in the late 90s between Letterman and Leno. It was a very exciting time. I read The Late Shift. What just awesome. Just an awesome time in TV history. And it's gone. Angela, they're getting rid of the entire show. They said it lost
Yep.
$40 million last year. How is that even possible? And is there going to be late night going forward? What's going to happen?
All right. I don't want to get into a political issue here. I'm not a political person, but I am a major advocate of the First Amendment since it gave me a career.
Sure.
And what this is about is freedom of speech. All right. The same as with 60 Minutes when they edited a Kamala Harris interview in a way that ended up turning into a $16 million settlement for President Trump. All right. Colbert has been a major critic of the current administration. And he has been critical of them more and more as time has gone on. And then Paramount now is waiting for the approval of the federal government for a massive merger that will be worth billions of dollars. Jay, you don't have to be smart to understand in the
Yeah.
corporate world of today that Paramount and CBS are buckling under the pressure of the current administration. And I, for one, am appalled that no one anymore wants to stand up for the freedom of speech that has given us the country we have today. If that alienates some people out there, I apologize. I'm not trying to alienate you. I'm trying to explain to you, as somebody who was in the media for 50 years, that if you take away our ability to say what we feel, we're basically a communist country. So don't do it. And CBS and Paramount, I worked for CBS, so did Rhea, for a long time. Shame on you that you did this. Shame. That's how I feel.
That's a powerful statement, and I think you're right. I mean, Rhea, do you think that this is a lockdown on freedom of speech, or do you think this is like what CBS said, an economic issue?
Well, there's a reason I'm in sports because it's just easy.
Yeah.
You could just stick to talking about the game. But what I've always been taught, even though I don't understand it, is you always just follow the money. So it's pretty easy. You follow where the money is. Where my concern is where this goes is what does it mean for comedy? Because, this kind of stuff dates back to, before I was alive in the 1960s with Lenny Bruce. I mean, I've read the stories about, raiding comedy clubs because the government didn't like his humor. So, you can try, no one buy the good news is no one buys it. So, you know what the story is, but I do wonder, what this means for late night. I'm not a late night person. Angelo knows this. He did it for 30 years. I wake up at 2:30 in the morning. I only watch clips on, social media. I love Colbert. I think he's an absolute riot,
Yeah.
but I only watch his show in clips. So, I don't know if I'm qualified to say, was he a great late night? I don't know any of them because I only consume their content in short clips, kind of like it's the only part of me that's young now is I consume late night by social media.
Yeah,
Right.
I'll say Rhea, that's how I consume it as well. And I want to talk to that point in just a moment. But I just want to say this, Angelo, I think that it's absolutely obvious that this, whether or not the economics are true, that they were losing that much money, I think it's obvious that the timing of this was a bone being thrown to President Trump so
Yep.
that they could get this merger approved. Because as of 3 months ago, they were trying to re-sign um, after midnight. So if they were planning to get rid of late night, why would they be trying to
No.
re-sign its replacement? None of
Right.
that timing makes sense. The only
Right.
good thing is that Colbert gets 10 months to basically
No.
be
He's
senior.
not getting 10 months, Jay. I'll let
He's
you know
not.
this right now.
He is
They're
right.
going to pay him a lot of money to go away because as I expected, listen, when you've been told your show's going away and you have a contract, you can say whatever you want. They're not going to allow him to do
Let me just, I got to stop the show. Rhea, you are 100% right. But last night, now this is the first time, he's got all the other late night hosts in the audience supporting him. Right,
Right.
he's got Kimmel and he's got
Jon Stewart.
Myers.
Fallon and he's got Jon Stewart, all those guys. Here's the thing, all right? No, yeah, he is not going. He said last night to the president, "Go f yourself,"
Yeah.
on network TV. Do you
It's
think they're
not
going to let?
recommended.
Is that 10 months of that? You think it's going to happen? Rhea's
Fair
right.
point. It's a
At
very
some
fair point.
point, look. They're going to end it anyway. They'll
Yeah.
pull the plug on it. They're losing money anyway. They
Yeah.
said they were losing money on the show. Well, why don't we lose more money and alienate the guy that we're trying to get to approve our merger?
Right.
No, Rhea's right. They're either going, well, they're not going to call him in and say, well, if you don't, back off, we're going to fire you. He's already leaving. They're in a bad spot. Rhea's right. He will not make it to 10 months. I am
He
in
might not make
agreement.
it to the end of the week. Just saying.
Right,
And you know something,
absolutely.
Angela? This is where the ratings will go through the roof
Yes.
because I loved when you finally get mad enough at a
Yeah.
boss and you go off,
Yeah.
all of us want to watch that. For
Yes.
whatever reason, whatever political background you are, everybody wants to watch it.
I,
Exactly. It
the, the,
is.
la- the last thing I want to say about this is, Rhea, I think you're right that I don't believe that late night television as it currently is situated will last another 5 years. I think they have to switch over producing clips like Seth Meyers does a closer look. I watch every a closer look. The problem is the economics of YouTube is not the same as the economics of broadcast television from 30 years ago, which is what all the union deals are set up as. I just did a whole thing with the union about a show that I sold to Lifetime, and I kept trying to explain to him, I didn't make any money on the movie, and you're asking for more from me, and I'm a union guy. It's just I think that the rules were set up for a different economic model
You're
than the
right.
one that we currently live in. So I don't see if I don't see any of it lasting.
Absolutely. And one last thing I just want to say, I grew up in the age of the greatest, Johnny Carson.
Yeah,
In this environment, in this world, Jay, Carson would not be successful.
you don't think so?
Not even here. And he was way better than all these guys, in my
100%.
opinion.
He was
Way,
the
way
best ever.
better. He wouldn't because the world has changed now. And we can timeshare. We get time shift. We can
Yeah.
watch anything we want whenever we want. So it's a different world than it was then. And they need to adjust to whatever would work in that time slot now.
But
Yep.
the one quick thing I'll say about Johnny Carson is from what I've been reading, because obviously I started reading, is that he wasn't political. Like he made
No,
sure to stay away from that. So that kind of he could just do the humor and do it. There was enough humor to go around
right.
with staying away from the politics.
You're right. He wasn't, but he was brilliant.
Yeah.
Every aspect of it, the interviewing, it was an everyman guy he would be great with. Then he'd bring on a big star. It was people who didn't grow up watching him have no idea how the job is done at the highest level. He
Right.
did it. He's
He,
brilliant. Go look at he's got every tape out you could ever
Yeah.
have. Check it out. You'll love it.
it was one of the happiest moments of my life when I was looking through my YouTube history and I saw about 20 hours of Johnny Carson in there. And I said to my son, "Is this you?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "You're
Wow.
watching Johnny Carson?" And he's like, "Oh, Daddy was the king of talk." He was the greatest. So
Pride. That's
I raised
proud.
him right. I raised him right. Um,
Absolutely.
Rhea, I want to ask
And
you.
by the way, happy birthday to your son.
Oh yeah, he's 18 today. He's a voter. So watch out, world.
Oh God, help us all.
Yeah. So I want to talk about The Office in just one moment, but before I do, Rhea, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been to a Coldplay concert?
I have not, and not going to one anytime soon. No, I have not been to. I'm not. I like concerts. I don't go to a lot of them. I go to a couple, but never. And I do like Coldplay. They're good.
And did you see the Coldplay concert
Did
from?
you see it?
My dog saw the Coldplay concert video. He's like, "Oh my God, Ma, what happened?"
My 9-year-old came in with the clip from the Phillies where they were doing the Kiss
Ah,
Cam,
brilliant.
and the Philly fanatic was there with the girl, and it was very funny. Everyone has seen it. If you're one of the few people that haven't, just a little bit of back.
No, you have.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah,
even say it's everywhere. I was on the beach for a week.
right.
You couldn't go from the beach to the water without hearing somebody talking about the CEO and his HR rep, both very good looking people,
Sure.
canoodling in a luxury box and being caught on the kiss cam by Chris Martin of Coldplay.
Right.
It was mega. It was massive.
And just so you, if you're ever in that situation, ladies and gentlemen, and you have your side piece at a concert and you get on the kiss cam, just play it cool. Don't
Yes.
dive out of the way. No one will think that
Right.
there's something weird going on. But
Right.
so I think this relates to television because, we are one of only three generations really that have lived in a world where you could be recorded and broadcast at any time of the day or night. That if you are out, and it has only gotten worse as time has gone on. So, Rhea, I just wanted to ask you sociologically,
Yeah.
do you think that that has changed behavior? Do you think that people are aware of the fact? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you see something going on and part of you wonders, am I on that What Would You Do TV show? Like, is it,
So I had a weird situation once just with myself, and I am like the low level of how anybody would know anybody, and it's just in Philadelphia. I mean, I was trying on shoes at the outlets, the Gloucester County outlets, and I realized it was either a guy with a fetish or somebody who knew me from WIP. He was filming me trying on shoes
Fetish.
until I said something. I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like it was just, it
yeah,
was so, and he got up and he ran away. So I knew it was something weird.
Fetish.
Um, but I will tell you this. I know that there are certain there's like social clubs in Philadelphia where there are no cell phones allowed. I believe they have like there's certain places, like I think it's Chinese Laundry is a place. Polizzi, so there's certain clubs now where the cell phones go in a lockbox, like outside the place, so that you can go in and enjoy dinner with no worries that people, I'm assuming that's what like really rich celebrities do. But yeah, the thing of just putting everybody on social media, even complete strangers, is, but I would never, I would find it weird to post a video of somebody. I posted one thing one time. I was at a Flyers game and a guy had a huge phone, and I forget, but he had something really crushing Flyers fans. And I just took a picture of the phone and I posted it back when I used to be on social media. And it was really funny, but that, like, I didn't get the guy's face, nothing,
right.
his phone number. But yeah, it's just, I think it's a little out of control.
Angelo, these two
Yeah.
people are accomplished professionals who live a very high-end lifestyle. Why were they so bold? You know people? What got into their brain that let them act like this in public?
I know the guy's thing. I can't really speak for the woman, but the wrong head was doing the thinking that night,
Mhm.
right? But let me just say this. I'm going to tie in what happened in that thing in the stadium where the Patriots play and the popularity of the NFL, because it's all the same. Nowadays, we love when something happens live. You
No,
understand?
yeah.
The NFL is huge because it's live. It's not scripted. You don't know. That's why it gets better ratings than anyone else. Live TV. I'll take you back now to 1964. This is when my love of TV started. I was watching because I was really a nerd, not cool like now. And,
Ah,
and I was watching the Ed Sullivan Show. And a comic came out. I got to talk to him about this many years later. A great comic, Jackie Mason, came out.
yep.
It was the second time he had ever appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show. And Ed Sullivan, they were squeezed for time. It was live. And he's right after Mason comes on. Sullivan's holding up 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes. And Mason freaks out and it goes off script and starts gesturing toward Ed Sullivan in a way that was interpreted that
Mm,
he was giving on live TV the icon of television, Ed Sullivan, the finger.
I've seen
Wow.
the footage.
Well, I saw it live. I was thrilled and excited by it, being a nerd back then. And it made me love when things happen that you don't expect. And it happened, the most recent example was the Robert Durst documentary,
Sure.
where
Oh,
he didn't know he still had a mic on, and
yeah.
he went in to take a leak during the interview, and he confessed to a murder. And it ended up a year or so later putting him behind bars where he died. These things, these moments, Jay, are why TV will always be essential in my life and in most lives,
Yeah.
because you will see real things happen live when you least expect them.
And you're right. The sports aspect of it, I'm falling asleep last night. I'm watching the Phillies are in extra innings. They can't score as per usual. And I'm like sitting here, I'm looking, I'm going, all right, just get the inning over with, and I'm just gonna go to bed. I'll watch the highlights when I get up. And bases loaded, catcher's
Yep.
interference.
Yeah.
Yep.
It hasn't I went,
Yep.
and what I'll be impressed with is that the announcers, Tom McCarthy, John Kruk, they knew it immediately.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh my God, I've never it happened one time, 51 years ago.
Perfect. You're
It's
right.
why sports is so awesome, because you will see something you've never seen before.
And I,
Live TV
Exactly.
is amazing.
I think
It's
that's
great.
ultimately why all of the streamers are pushing to have a live component to
Yeah.
what they do, because they understand
Yep.
that that's the most compelling part of TV is make an appointment, show up, and you never know what's going to happen. I said we were going to talk about The Office, but I do think we need to push that to next week. There was just too much to talk about, guys,
Okay.
this week. So let's talk about somebody who is super compelling, no matter what he does, live or on tape. Our great sponsor, Steven Singer. Angela, tell me about Steven Singer.
Absolutely. I just say that, I'm sure in Steven's jewelry store from time to time, there's been a video of a customer that probably dropped to their knee and proposed right there with the ring. And all I can tell you is that's what it's about. It's about making a moment special. And that is what Steven Singer specializes in. He understands that when you get married and you present the ring, epic. It's got to be a great ring. Rhea will tell you that. If it's not a good ring, you might get a no.
Correct.
Right, Rhea? And and
Yes.
and so you got to make sure you have the right things. Now, if guys are watching this and you're like me or like Jay, we have no idea
We
what
don't
we're
know.
buying or what we're seeing. So we have to completely rely on the integrity of the jeweler. This is why I can tell you with complete conviction that you will have an honest man in Steven Singer and you will get an honest deal. So when you want to make that moment special, it starts with a trip to the other corner of 8th and Walnut, Steven Singer Jewelers.
And I always like to tell you, I always like to pop on before we do our show. And I popped on, and I love it. I didn't realize that July, if your birthday is in July, it's Ruby's month. Let me just tell you, I was looking at his collection of July, but I want to be born in July.
Yeah.
They were so earrings, and they range from $100, up to $800. Very affordable, but stunning. There's a ring on there that I actually want. But yeah, if you have somebody close to you, maybe a sweet 16, a ruby ring for her birthday would absolutely be stunningly beautiful.
Love it.
Absolutely. And Jay, your son just turned 18, right?
Yes.
Maybe a little pinky thing like the mafia has with a little ruby on the end. It would
I,
be very attractive. He
I
would
think
enjoy
it's
that.
time. It's time for him to enter his mafia phase.
I hate stevensinger.com, the other quarterback at the wall, that you can't do better. I'm telling you, in Philadelphia or around the country, he's the best.
Absolutely. Thanks to Steven Singer, and also thanks to Rhea Hughes, who every week finds us another British outing for all of us to watch. What do you got for us this week, Rhea?
Tell you, I struggled a little bit this week. I was on my third show and I went, because I like to give people reviews of shows that I want them to watch, not to go, hey, this show really sucks. Um, I was clicking around on Acorn yesterday and I found a show that's from actually 2010 to 2013 called The Indian Doctor. Now it stars one of my favorite British actors. When again, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it right, but it's Sanjeev Bhaskar. I have done reviews of the TV show Unforgotten. Brilliant, brilliant cold case history show. He's one of the main stars in it. He actually began his acting career with a minor part in Notting Hill. If you've seen Notting Hill enough, you know the scene where the guys are in the restaurant talking about Anna
Yeah.
Scott, Julia Roberts' character, in a very nasty way.
Mhm.
He's one of the guys at the dinner. So it's pretty funny, but he's tremendous. So what it is it's set in 1962. He and his wife decide to move to a very small Welsh town because the doctor there had died. The flip on this of being immigrants moving to another country is they apparently came from extraordinary wealth in India. And now they're in this tiny little Welsh town. He's the doctor for everybody there that doesn't have a doctor. They're dealing with, prejudice, but it's done in it's a comedy. It's got a little bit of drama in it. Runs for 3 seasons. First season is 5 episodes. His wife is really bitter about being in this small town. She's stunningly gorgeous. I will just tell you this. I like it. I'm 4 episodes in. It's great, but I will tell you, Sanjeev Bhaskar he's in a lot of British shows. He's really good. This is one from when he first started out. Jay, he's like you. He started out in a different business. He was an IBM computer guy, and he's like, "This really sucks. I want to go into comedy." And he's a terrific actor.
As I will say to anybody who wants to leave their job for comedy, stay in your job. Don't leave. Yeah. By the way, I watched Notting Hill for the first time 3 or 4 years ago with my wife.
What?
I know I didn't see it when it first came out. Uh, I thought Anna Scott was the world's biggest narcissist. I she
Oh
just
yeah,
she just stomped around everybody's life and ruined it. And you get
yes.
away with it because you're Julia Roberts, but it just
It's the side characters and not the side characters in Notting Hill
yes.
are the best. They are the
Oh, come
best.
on. No, wait a minute. Don't you? When I can remember a line from a movie,
All right,
it's
let's
a
say it at the
good
same
movie.
time. Ready?
Yep, let's say it.
Three,
I'm just the
two,
girl.
girl standing in front of a guy
Keep going.
asking him to love her.
I give it.
Perfect. Yes. I didn't even remember it right, Rhea. That's why I deferred.
And then I gave it 8 days before they break up because she's a
Oh, that's
crazed
great.
narcissist.
Oh, you're awful.
I'm
That's
not
It's
awful.
awful.
a romantic movie.
Oh,
Anna Scott's
come
awful.
on.
I like romance. I just don't like Anna Scott. She's a goofball. Don't like her. Uh,
Oh,
Angela, what do you got for us this week?
all right. I'm having the same problem Rhea is. It's a real dry time
Yeah.
on streaming right now. So I do what I always do. I go to my one safe bet, a documentary. Well, I ended up checking out two. One at the behest of my son, Neil. He was 100% right. It's really good. And one that I checked out on my own that absolutely stinks. Stinks. So I'll start with the good one. It's part of a very good series of short documentaries. These are all an hour or less. It's the Trainwreck series on Netflix. And this one is called Balloon Boy.
All right.
2009, a guy built what amounted to, out of tin foil, he built a flying saucer.
Yeah.
And he had a 6-year-old, kind of a prankster. And his 6-year-old son, the world believed, got on the flying saucer and it took off, powered only by helium. It went all the way up to 10,000 feet and was just swept across state lines with a wind and stopped to watch the balloon with the little boy in it. Well, the video in it is great. You may remember it, you may not. I remembered it differently than what I learned in the documentary. Away, there was a big argument about whether it was all a hoax or whether what was going on with the kid. It's really good because everybody who was involved in it, including the little kid who's now grown up, all are interviewed.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Father is a whack job. I
I'm
mean,
sure.
this guy.
It sounds
No,
like
he
it.
would embrace me saying that. He's an amateur inventor, right? Who
God.
he just does crazy stuff. But you will be able to make your own decision on how much of it was real and how much of it was faked to get on television. It's the same old issue. People want to get on TV, fame. The bad,
Angela, let me interrupt for 1 second. I just want to ask Rhea a question. Rhea, you're on a dating app and you come to a guy whose job description is amateur inventor. How fast are you swiping left?
Delete,
hold
delete,
on,
delete,
Rhea.
delete.
The guy is good looking. The guy is really good. I mean, this is the thing. Good looks get you past a lot of stuff. Like this is a stinker. And Hulu usually does not do awful documentaries. Three parts of nothing. Her last broadcast is the
Oh
name
my
of it.
God, Ange, I started watching that yesterday.
It stinks. Oh,
Oh,
please keep watching it. I would like your endorsement on how
can
bad
I
it is.
tell you why I started to
Yep.
watch it? I've always been fascinated and scared of this story
Yes.
because of the time she leaves to go to work,
Yep.
which is basically the same time. It's you tell the story. But you're telling me it's terrible. I started
You're right.
watching it last night.
Well, you're right. She works the morning shift at
Yeah.
a TV news station, and she gets abducted. And she was 27 years old, very beautiful, very sweet. And for 30 years, she's been a cold case. No one
Yeah.
knows what happened. And they did 3 episodes on it, telling you that no one knows what happened.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Rhea, they have one asinine theory after another, all of which get disproven. And at the end, you know what they say? If you know anything, let us know.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
I hate
So,
that. If you're going to do a
yeah.
documentary,
Mm.
you have to have some kind of closure.
Yes.
Some
No,
kind of
there was
closure.
no, not only
It's
is it,
why, but it's what they put what they
yes,
put in the thing is that there's
yes,
new information.
that's
So
the
they
point.
lie.
And in the Balloon Boy, there is. But in this
Yeah.
one, there's nothing. There's
Yeah.
nothing. It's just, it's 2 hours of nothing. The other one, the Balloon Boy, is like 50 minutes of something. That's the difference.
You know what that reminds me of, Angela? That TV show or that movie, The Last Exorcism, where they ran out of money to film the ending. So they put up a website link at the end of the movie that said, for more information, go to this website. You'll
Yeah.
get the rest of it. Yeah, you should have an ending. All right. I want to review a documentary that I will give two separate reviews to, which is this. If you are a Billy Joel fan, if you like
Yes.
Billy Joel, this is an A+ documentary. The HBO dropped part one on Sunday, I believe it was. They'll drop part two this week. It is an in-depth, everybody gets interviewed, including his ex-wife, who to this
Wait, which one? He's had several.
well, the original one, Elizabeth Weber, the one
Okay.
who was his original manager, the one,
Gotcha. Okay.
the inspiration for Just the Way You Are, and a bunch of the early songs, who I believe still is the love of Billy Joel's life. And I don't think he ever quite got over her, especially the way he talks about her in the. If I was his current wife, I would not be happy with how he was talking about Elizabeth Weber in this documentary. But they get her, and it is a 5-course meal of music and history and personal details about somebody that I'm a huge fan of. That said, if you are not a Billy Joel fan and you are just sort of tangentially interested in that time period and his music, I think 5 hours or excuse me, 2.5 hours per part one is way too
Wow.
long. You're not going to like it. You're going to be mad at me for suggesting it. But if you are interested and you have the time, it was like having a 5-course meal. It really was. There was everything you could want, and they get into depth about everything in his life. And The music, they have rights to all the music, so the music plays throughout the whole thing, and
Okay.
they give each album its due course, and it ends with him getting divorced from Elizabeth Weber after a motorcycle accident, which he wrote. You may be right, because that was a conversation he had with Elizabeth Weber, who
Oh,
said, you're crazy. I can't be with you. He gets into this accident. She puts her keys on his medical tray and says, I can't be with you anymore, and leaves. And that's where the documentary
wow.
ends. So it's
Wow.
just fantastic. If you are a fan of Billy Joel, which I don't know if you guys are, but you think you'd really
I
like it.
am. Yes.
Yes. Okay, let me go over what we got here. And I just remember, because Jay referenced it, but he didn't say what it was. We plan a debate on, because Rhea's a British expert, widely regarded now as the top British expert on TV in America. We're going to argue what was better, the British version of The Office or the US version. The Office British version, one season, the with some
Yeah.
specials, and the other one 9 seasons.
Right.
We
Wow.
always overdo it, though. But anyway, we're going to have that next week, unless more people get kissed on camera or more icons get fired. All right. You want to see Stephen Colbert get fired before the 10 months he has left?
Friday. I'm saying Friday.
Yes. I check him out on Paramount Plus. If you want to see the kiss cam thing with the CEO at his HR, just turn on your computer. It'll come right on. All right. If you would like to see something I referenced, Jackie Mason, 1964, maybe give the finger to Ed Sullivan. That's on YouTube. If you would like to see Robert Durst end up in jail because he confessed to a murder while taking a leak, that is available on HBO Max. The Indian Doctor is available on Acorn if you want something that's Britishy, right? British, right here?
Yes.
I
Yep.
guess it's
Yep.
British. All right. If you would like to see a great documentary, or really good at least, go to Netflix and see Balloon Boy. If you would like to see a horrible documentary, go to Hulu and see her last broadcast. And if you really love Billy Joel, you will go to HBO Max and check out the new documentary on him.
Yeah, it's called So It Goes. Great documentary. And you can check out Angelo Cataldi's book Loud on Amazon.com, Audible.com, or AngeloCataldi.com. You can watch Rhea Hughes every day. Well, not this week because she's going on vacation, but every day on YouTube on the WIP Morning Show. And you can catch me live if you live in New Jersey at the Stress Factory, Thursday, August
Do it.
7th. It's the only show I'm doing in Jersey for the month. So
Wow.
come on out to the show and have a good time. We thank you all for listening, and we thank our great sponsor, Steven Singer, and our great producer, Jared Clapper, for helping us out on all aspects of the podcast. We will see you guys next week.